Joining me now to break this all down is New Jersey Congressman and member of the House Judiciary Committee, Jeff Van Drew. Also with us is our special guest, distinguished professor at Touro University, Thane Rosenbaum. Let's go to you, Congressman. According to the report, Durham found that the FBI allegedly acted too hastily and relied on raw and unconfirmed intelligence when it opened the investigation. Durham also stated in part, quote, the DOJ and FBI failed to uphold their important mission of strict fidelity of the law. What goes through your mind when you hear something like this? I mean, this is the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation. I mean, and for this kind of corruption to be there, add that with the whistleblowers, what they're alleging. What should happen to the FBI at this point?
Oh, the FBI has to be restructured at the top. It has to be gutted and restructured so it does the job it was supposed to do. And that job is simple in its essence, is to protect the American people and to protect the American government. And here we are, we find that they're not doing that. We need protection from the FBI and the CIA and the Department of Justice for the American people and for our great country. So that really needs to be some serious change. They have to be depoliticized, defanged, and I don't mean when they're going after bad guys, because that's what they should be doing, but when they're doing political type of activities such as this and weaponizing it is just awful. And the same people are still there, some of them, and worse than that, we have people in Congress who really push this. We have people in the media who push this. Pulitzer Prizes were given out when all this stuff was being done, and it was all lies. Everything President Trump said was true. People may not like that. You may not like President Trump, but the reality is, I do, but the reality is that he just told it how it was. And now we have finally, conclusively found out whether Adam Schiff likes it or not.
It's just really incredible, Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi, how they just blatantly lied to the American people. We now know from this report, and the fact that the mainstream media is even kind of giving no credence to the Durham report either. What do you think what should happen to the FBI, Thane?
Well, you know, this allegation that they were guided by confirmation bias is really dangerous, right? Because this is what the founding fathers were worried about. They wanted elective representatives. They did not want elite administrators making decisions. Confirmation bias means we have a direction and a truth that we want, and we will find and pick and choose anything to confirm our bias, which is worse than political bias. They're just saying, and so therefore they are giving themselves the level of authority that we wouldn't give an elected representative. So this is what the allegation is with respect to the FBI, with respect to political leadership, right? You know, they represented in front of the entire nation that they had actually seen evidence, when in fact the evidence was not there of collusion, that the FBI did not have probable cause. You know, basic stuff, first day of law school, right? FBI doesn't have probable cause, and yet they were off to the races. And it wasn't entirely the Steele dossier, as the opposition researched on behalf of Hillary Clinton, but that was part of it. But that they simply never had enough evidence to put this country through the level of ultimately the investigation that became the Mueller report. And that is just very scary because it's the essence of against what representative democracy means.
Turning to Hunter Biden, Congressman. Congressman Jim Jordan and Mike Turner, they sent a letter to the CIA Director Williams Burns for answers on the Hunter Biden intelligence and the 51 intelligence community officials that signed off on the bogus letter. This comes as the DOJ even removed its entire IRS team from looking into Hunter's tax fraud case. Congressman, how are Republicans in your committee responding? I mean, I'm sure the American people, they're sitting out there and they're like, what? How could this be happening? How could there not be any repercussions? We've seen the videos. We know that they lied, and yet nothing seems to be happening. Are these committees actually effective?
They are. We're doing everything we can. You have to keep one thing in mind, that we have a thin majority in Congress, in the House of Representatives, which we do. The Senate isn't doing much of anything. And of course, the president doesn't cooperate at all. So there's a certain amount we can do, and we're doing it. There's nobody more proactive that I know than Jim Jordan. I'm working on his right-hand side there to do everything that we possibly can. We're asking to get the documents. We're asking to get the information. What's unbelievable, the other side was pushing the DOJ to go after the poor guy that owned the computer store. I mean, this is a world in which we live in now, this political, governmental world. We're telling the truth is something that just doesn't occur. And we're going to have to fight hard, and it's not going to be easy. And sometimes you even get punished for telling the truth. But
incredible.
The bottom line is Hunter Biden did do all those things. He does have that information on the computer. They have received money, not only Hunter, not only the president, not only multiple members in these fake corporations that they have. They've all received money from companies in communist China and from the communist Chinese, and they won't let the information out. Even the IRS knows it. So we have good Americans. Just think of this is heartbreaking. Good Americans, whether they're in the FBI, whether they're in the IRS, whether they're in the Department of Justice, that are trying to push the information out, and they're punished for that. They get punished for it. You heard what they said when those FBI agents were on, and they were speaking about what was happening to them because they were telling the truth and because they were whistleblowers. We're fighting for America here. By the way, worse than Watergate. Don't let anybody ever tell you otherwise. This is far worse than the Watergate. This goes to the foundation of our nation.
Thank you so much, Congressman Jeff Van Drew, and thank you, Thane Rosenbaum, for being with us. Coming up, 27 years ago, Roger Ailes built the Fox News media empire where conservatives have had a